Cloud. Okay, here we go. Welcome everybody to our first class in our Gold Mastermind series. My name is Michelle Stuchel and I'm a Sapphire Ambassador. And I am so honored and privileged and excited to be kicking this Mastermind series off. And I'm nervous, I'm excited because I feel the weight of this. Because this is what I want you more than anything to get from tonight. You can do this. And I feel the weight of that because I know that what we have on our hands is so incredibly powerful. And we all believe in you so much that we are willing to sacrifice our own time and energy to spend hours coming up with content to give you the tools to make your dreams come true. And that's what we're talking about here. This is not just about creating the job of your dreams or achieving your next rank, but it's about each and every one of you creating the life of your dreams. And I'm here to tell you it is 100% possible. 100% possible. If you could, I know I'm fired up right now, but if I could communicate anything to you, if you leave here with anything, it's that you are here for a reason, for such a time as this, and this is for you. You may look at us, I want to just dispel some myths from the beginning, okay? It's very easy to look at jewels that have been to Hawaii or Mexico or me because I like to talk and I get fiery, blah, 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 that this is somehow easy for us or that we didn't have to overcome something, that somehow our lives are all together and we didn't have to grow. But let me tell you, every single jewel, every single gem, every person that has achieved something in this company has had something to overcome. And there have been dozens of reasons why they could have said no, and they could have quit. And here's the difference. We just didn't give up. We didn't give up on our dreams. We didn't give in. And we refused to let mediocrity or fear or hindrances or excuses stop us. We had the audacity to believe that we could do it if we just kept going. And then here's the reality too. Sometimes we didn't believe it, but we had a Brittany or an April or a Christina telling us we could. So even if we didn't have the belief, we just kept putting one foot in front of the other, because they were infusing their belief in us, telling us that we could do it. And so we just did it. And it's not because it was easy. Nothing in this life that's worth having is easy. And let's face it, all of life is hard. You're welcome. But if Jesus said it, I think I can trust him. He's a pretty good source. Life is hard. You have the amazing privilege to choose which hard you're going to take. Settling for mediocrity and being where you are, or choosing the hard of growth, ownership, getting uncomfortable, doing hard things, getting out of your comfort zone, and moving forward to create the life of your dreams, changing everything for your family. So which one will you do? Because you have the ability and everything that each one of us has. You have that ability, and this is for you. You can do this. We all have reasons that we could have not chosen. Brittany, introvert from a small little town in Southern Georgia with one stoplight, homeschooling mom, didn't leave her house. Me, was busy, leader of a homeschool organization, wanted to take things off of my plate, didn't want anything to do with network marketing. April was a successful speech therapist, spent thousands of dollars on a degree. What, she was going to throw it all away? to be a network marketer. Christina, full-time teacher, loving her life, specialist degree. Homeschool mom, Brenda Martin, had 18,000 children. She didn't have time to do it. Everybody has a reason why they couldn't or shouldn't do it. Full-time job, lots of kids, no kids, career, not a reader, doesn't like network marketing. I'm busy. I've tried it before. But guess what? For every one of those excuses, there are dozens of people that have had those same stepping stones, those same circumstances. And instead of seeing them as a stumbling block, they've seen them as a stepping stone and made the step over to achieve their dreams, to make progress, to grow. And you can too. Is it because you're too busy? Well, guess what? Everyone's busy. It's not a matter of time that you need, it's intentionality. Is it that you're introverted? Well, guess what? Two of my favorite jewels of all time, Brittany Howard and Jessica Heffley, are introverts. And they actually, in my opinion, have a leg up on us extroverts who run our mouths all the time because they think and analyze and coach and see things that I may miss because I'm too busy running my mouth and doing things. Personality type is not a prerequisite for success in this business at all. It's your choices that will determine your success. Maybe you're saying you don't like to read. You haven't read a book in years. Well, are you happy about that? Not learning and staying in mediocrity? Get a book on Audible. Listen, do what you need to grow. Maybe it's that you didn't like network marketing or that you don't have belief in the opportunity. That's okay. You can build it. If I can do it, the woman that was never going to be associated in network marketing, and now here I am telling everybody and their brother that it's the best industry on the planet, then you can too. Here's what I want you to do and what you need to realize. You can do this. And you need to be honest with yourself and handle your own objections for you to be able to move forward in confidence to bring others along in this journey with you, because there's nothing stopping you and there's no difference between us and you. It's your mindset and the decision to make it happen. It's up to you. What I am talking about is 100% ownership. I sound like a broken record tonight, but this is one of our main themes. You have the ability and the responsibility to make this happen. I looked up the definition of ownership and I thought it was really interesting. Okay. It says proprietorship, control, enjoyment, hands, keeping possession, authority, command, dominion, mastery, power, repossession, retention, claiming, commandeering, confiscation, and procurement. Paints a pretty good picture, doesn't it? You holding on to things, you having control. I thought it was very interesting that in the definition, it had the word enjoyment and authority, mastery. Now catch this. What is the antonym? What is the opposite of ownership? Non-possession, dispossession, relinquishment, surrendering, and transfer. Relinquishment and surrendering. Do you realize if you don't take ownership of your business and really of your life, you are relinquishing and surrendering your outcomes? And every day you are making a choice, whether you like it or not. If you're not making a conscious choice, it's just called passivity. and you've already relinquished and given up, surrendered control. So what do you want? This has nothing to do with ability or personality or age. It has everything to do with your choice. What is your choice? And if you've heard me say this once, you've heard me say, and not just me, everybody on our team, when we went to Ruby Retreat years and years ago in Scottsdale, and we were at corporate, and I think it was our first one because Britt, you were there, and Genevieve told us about the Latin root of the word to decide, decision. And the Latin root means to cut away. So when you are making a decision, you are literally cutting away everything else. So what's your choice? You have 100% responsibility for your choices. So let's talk about that. What does that look like as a business owner? And that's what you are. You know, sometime let me back up. You are either at a gold or senior gold level. Okay. I got to gold. Basically, I recruited myself to gold. I almost recruited myself to senior gold. I had some help. I had some silvers, et cetera, people that were dabbling, but I still didn't have belief in network marketing. I didn't want to talk about the opportunity, and my business reflected that. Okay. But I was constantly talking only about the products. In network marketing, that does not equate with a successful, sustainable business that will yield financial freedom to get where you want to go. And if you're on this call, if you're one of those people that posted a picture of your notebook in the chat because you're so hungry to learn, it's because you are here to create the life of your dreams and gain financial freedom, which is entirely possible, by the way. But you have to have the shift in your mindset to go between, and this happens sometime in the gold, senior gold era, between talking only about the products to shifting and talking about the opportunity and seeing yourself as a business owner versus just getting a bunch of your friends on some health supplements that make them feel better. Because you are a business owner with a lifetime the opportunity of a lifetime. And you have invested and purchased a system with corporate backing, a shipping department, branding, customer service, life-changing products. You have like an army behind you in terms of corporate strength. And then an army on the other side of you giving equipping, training, first class equipping and training, all for free for you to build your business as a business owner. You are an entrepreneur that is different than being self-employed. Please note this. People that are self-employed only get paid when they work. One of the benefits of network marketing is that you are building for residual income. You have a system so that eventually, even when you're not working, you are being paid because you've created an organization. And instead of just being paid on one person's effort, you are being paid on the efforts of your whole organization. But that requires thinking like an entrepreneur, thinking like a business owner. I love this quote. And we don't know who said it, but entrepreneurship is living a few years of your life like most people want so that you can spend the rest of your life like most people can't. Let me say that again. Entrepreneurship is living a few years of your life like most people won't so that you can spend the rest of your life like most people can't. You're building a system that has the potential to yield more than your wildest dreams. And I mean that with every fiber of my being. I may blow the gaskets off some of you right now, but my vision isn't even 5 digits a month. My vision is 6 digits a month. A month. Yes, that's what I said. I'll never forget. I don't know, 2 years ago when Lori Welch got the Jewels of Pink Power together on a special call, and I was a new jewel. And so I felt like I was like, oh my gosh, an exclusive jewel call with Lori Welch. And she basically said, if you're dreaming of a 6-figure income, you're dreaming too small. Mind blown. Okay. She gets it. I'm Lori's level 1, 2, 3. If she can do it, I can do it. Why not? There's nothing that she has that I don't have at my disposal. And it's the same for you. And business owners, now listen, when you are at your level, gold and senior gold, it does feel like you are self-employed, because if you're not you feel like you're pushing a snowball uphill, right? It's a lot of work. It feels like if you're not doing it, nothing's happening because you are in the building stage, right? You're investing in people. You are pushing that snowball uphill, and the higher it gets, the heavier it gets. But once it starts to tip over on the other side, it takes on a life of its own. But here's the deal. Every traditional business owner knows that there's a building stage. They know that they're not even going to be profitable for the first 3 years. You can be profitable in your first day if you want to, right? So it can feel hard, but you have to understand, as an entrepreneur, you are going to be making, we say a lot of times, sacrifices. Let me phrase it this way. You're going to be making investments. What we do is simple, but it is not easy. And it requires grit, hard work, and a strong work ethic. To get to a 6-figure income, to be making as much as a brain surgeon work, it takes hard work. It takes a lot of it. There's always a price to pay. There's always an investment and a sacrifice, but I don't even think it's a sacrifice. What did I sacrifice? My mind becoming a vegetable in front of Netflix. I maybe sacrificed, even as a sapphire, I'm sitting here, what did I sacrifice? It feels hard in the moment, maybe, but now I can't even think of a sacrifice, because what I've gained is so rich and so fulfilling and so much more than I could have ever dreamed, that I know that what I sacrificed was an investment. Maybe it was an afternoon where my husband took the kids to the park and I stayed home to work on a Saturday. Maybe it was, instead of watching, getting on Pinterest at night to scroll and just decompress, I read a book. There's always an investment, because you've got to grow, right? And it takes hard work. What we do, people, is very simple. And it can be for everybody, but not everybody wants to do the hard lifting. You can work this business sometimes, but you cannot work with it part-time. And to get to the top, you have to be all in. Now, that doesn't mean necessarily full-time hours, or that you have to do it all the time, but it does mean hard work. But we were always intended to work. Work was a part of our world even before the fall. You were created to do hard things. And you will always have choices. You will always have the ability and the necessity to make investments, right? But we're getting a return, right? And in network marketing, you reap so much more, an exponential return on anything you invest. I don't know if you guys realize this. You probably heard this in one of our calls, but 95% of people that stay in an MLM for over 10 years, one company, will reach the top of their company. 95% of those people. That is as close to being bankable and a guarantee for success that I can think of. And why would you do that? Because of hard work and grit. But what will this require of you besides just hard work? This is the part we don't like. Are you ready for it? getting out of your comfort zone, doing uncomfortable things. And in this business, you must get uncomfortable every single day, even as a sapphire, even as a diamond. If you want to grow and move forward, you have to get uncomfortable. And it requires stretching, because everything you want is on the other side of fear and being comfortable, because comfort is the enemy of progress. I mean, think about it. If you go to the gym, is it comfortable to do a squat? No. I mean, maybe it's not bad if you're not holding weights, but if you want to change the way that you look, you're going to have to carry weight. And that's uncomfortable. And then what will happen if you lift heavy enough weights? You're going to be sore the next day. But what's happened? Your muscles are getting stronger. You're uncomfortable. And the more weight you've lifted, the more your muscles have had to work. Maybe the more sore you are the next day, but it was a stronger workout producing greater strength. Part of your homework today is going to be thinking of, what are you avoiding? What is your comfort? What is outside your comfort zone? For me, I've had things outside my comfort zone all along. First, it was even just sending a message to anybody. That was way out of my comfort zone, because I never wanted to be in network marketing. Maybe for some of you, that doesn't bother you. Maybe it's just maybe you can talk about the products all day long, but maybe it's talking about the opportunity that makes you nervous. Maybe it's reaching out to people in your cold market that terrifies you. Or maybe it's the opposite. Maybe talking to people that are close to you is the scariest thing. Maybe doing a training or doing a live video is scary for you. I don't know what it is, but what's on the other side of that fear, that comfort zone, is a great indicator of your area needed to have action, the area that you need to take action in for growth. So you don't need to write this down. I've got handouts for you that we'll be putting in the chat. But think about this. What kind of things would you be missing out on if you stayed in your comfort and fear zone? And yes, I said comfort and fear in the same sentence, because the only reason to stay in that comfort zone is because of fear. Your fear of what's going to happen if you leave that safe place, which quite frankly isn't safe. What would you be missing out on if you stay in your comfort and fear zone? How would your life look like in 1 year, 3 years, 10 years, if you stayed exactly the same as you were today? What keeps you there? That word fear. False evidence appearing real. And please hear me. Each one of us has fears. Brittany has fears. Christina has fears. April has fears. I have fears. Celeste Gwen probably has fears. We all have fears. The question is, what are you going to do with it? Let's talk about that for a second. Write this down. Fear. Write it as an acronym. False evidence appearing real. I'm going to say that again. False evidence appearing real. And I want you to put in the chat, what are some of the things that you've been fearful of in this business? Okay, you put that in, and no shame, because we've all had it, right? I've probably had all of them, okay? Now, what's the purpose of fear? Let me ask you this. The purpose of fear is to paralyze you, to get you to stay in that comfort zone. Okay, I'm going to get a little Bible on you right now. The Bible says the enemy prowls around like a roaring lion, seeking whom he can devour. Okay, so he's like a lion. He wants to devour you. He comes only to steal, kill, and destroy, and he's looking for you. Now imagine a cage, but there's no walls, like this open circle, and that's your comfort zone. And you're sitting in the middle of that comfort zone, and you won't get out because that's your comfort zone. That's where you've been, because you don't know what's outside that zone. But guess what? Because you're staying in a comfort zone, you're actually a sitting duck. And that lion wants to pounce on you. He wants you to stay there because he's seeking who he can devour. But here's the good news. Jesus defeated him, took away his fangs, took away his teeth, and it is false evidence appearing real because you can get out. You can move. You're not going to die. You have the ability to choose. And there are 365 do not fears in the Bible, one for every single day. Now, listen, when God says do not fear, that word fear does not mean in the Hebrew sweaty palms, nervous, butterflies. He's not talking about emotion. You know what that root word fear means? Run. So when God says, do not fear, you know what he's saying? Don't run away. Don't run away from the hard things. And yes, I'm banging my legs. Don't run away from the hard things. You can do it afraid. How many times have I been nervous and I've had sweaty pits like I have right now because I've done something that's outside of my comfort zone, or I messaged a chicken lister, or I thought, I wonder what they're going to think about me, or I did a live video and I had no idea if it made sense. It just means don't run. Do it afraid. You cannot wait for your feelings to get in line with your actions. Or let me say it this way, you cannot wait for your feelings to give you permission to take the action you need. You have to just do it. Because here's the deal, that fear will create ambivalence, and what's worse, it's negative, it's moving backwards because there is no middle ground. You're either moving toward your goals or away from it. And if you're staying in that comfort zone, you're actually moving backwards. And that impedes your growth. So what are you afraid of? You can do it afraid. What makes you uncomfortable? Do it afraid. Okay. So when we talk about doing it afraid, we're really starting to get into the most important thing in your business. And those are your thoughts, right? Your thoughts. I did a live on this today, but we're going to talk about this a lot tonight. And we already have been a little bit. Because the most successful people in this business have the highest belief. Doesn't mean they don't get sweaty palms. It doesn't mean they don't have pits in their stomachs, but it does mean they have built their belief and they understand the value of what they have and where they're going. So here's a question that you're going to be asking in your homework. What are you doing to grow your belief? Knowing that we all have fears, knowing that we all have things that make us uncomfortable. What are you doing to intentionally grow your belief and help you with the competence that will yield confidence to enable you to move forward? And you need belief in 3 areas. Number 1, our products. I still learn about our products. I don't know everything about our products. We've got amazing products. Build your belief in our products, because once you understand what our products are doing in people's bodies, you will be shouting it from the rooftops. And that's what makes our opportunities so absolutely incredible, right? You need to have belief in network marketing. Maybe you've seen my video. It's about 11 minutes on why network marketing. Listen, I had to do a lot of belief work in this area. This was my biggest hurdle, was network marketing. Did I want to be, could I say that could I be known as a professional network marketer? Absolutely now, but I had to learn. I had to grow my belief on why this was such an amazing industry. And so I did. I read books. I listened to books. I probably have read 5 or 6 books on network marketing at this point. I've taught one of them. I listened to audiobooks. I've watched Diamond Doc upon Diamond Doc. I've read testimonies, and I've seen the power in network marketing and what we have, that it's truly a people helping people industry, that it can yield not just the job of your dreams, but the career of your dreams. I built my belief so that I can, with 100% confidence, say, you realize what this could do for you and your family. And this is one of the biggest blessings of our entire lives. And I want you to be as blessed as I am, because I can see what this can do for you. I can say that with confidence because I studied in network marketing, right? And then yourself. Most people, this is where most people get stuck. What are you believing about yourself? Now, we've already established that you can do this. It's not an IQ issue. It's not a personality issue. This is a choice issue. It's a decision issue, right? But we all have negative thoughts. Raise your hand if you've had a negative thought about yourself in this business. Okay. Every hand should be raised. And if you didn't, you're either your hand's asleep or you need to be honest with yourself. We've all had negative thoughts, right? Each and every one of us. I can't do this. No one's going to follow me. If you've ever had a negative thought like that, raise your hand. But here's the deal. Each and every person has negative thoughts. What determines a person's success is what they do with those thoughts. Take a minute. I don't want you to share this. Write down, what are some of the negative thoughts that you've struggled with about this business? 1 minute. And I know that they're right there. Be honest. Okay. Now, if you watched my live today, you're just going to have to hear this again. Every single person deals with negative thoughts. But what determines someone's success is not whether or not they have negative thoughts. It's what you do with them, right? Okay. I live in Savannah. We love going to Jacksonville. We live in Savannah. We love going to Jacksonville. It's about 2 hours down 95. Okay. So we get in the car. We love to go eat at the Cheesecake Factory. We like to go to the zoo. We like to go shopping. So we get in the car and we go to Jacksonville. Okay. And we're getting down the road and we see a sign for Midway. So what do? Do I freak out and say, oh my gosh, there's Midway. We should get off. We should go to Midway. Maybe we should go to Midway instead of Jacksonville. Or maybe we just have to use the restroom. So we get off, something happened. We had to stop. I have to go to the restroom. We go to the restroom. And then maybe we get a bite to eat. It takes a little bit longer, but we get back on the road and we go to Jacksonville, right? Because we know we're going to Jacksonville. There's not a question of, are we going to stay in Midway? Because we know our final destination. When you know your final destination, you can continue driving despite all the road signs that are pointing in a different direction. You simply realize, oh, that's just a sign. Or, oh, I can use the restroom, I can get off, but then I'm going to get back on. Some of you are in a pit stop right now, taking a little bit longer than you thought it may. Just get back in the car and go to Jacksonville. Know your destination. Know your destination and realize that just because you're going to Jacksonville doesn't mean you're not going to see all the signs pointing somewhere else. You just recognize them for what they are. What you do with those thoughts is key to your success. So how do you do that? First of all, number one, you have to think about what you're thinking about. The average person has between 12 and 60,000 thoughts a day. 12 and 60,000 thoughts a day. This blew my mind. The average American, 80% of those are negative thoughts. 80% negative thoughts. What's even more crazy is that 95% of those are repetitive. 95% of those thoughts are repetitive. Do you know what that says to me? Hope. You can change your thoughts, but if you don't, the negative ones, which are your default, are going to continue. You've got the ability and the responsibility to change them. A couple minutes ago, I had you write down the negative thoughts that you have. My guess is that you didn't just think that once. You've thought it over and over and over and over again. I just need more time. I can't do this. This is too hard. I'm never going to get a business builder. I'm not like Christina. I'm not like Michelle. I can't do this. And it goes over and over and over and over and over again. And soon, before you know it, whatever you're thinking about grows and expands. And then all of a sudden, boom. But here's the good news. You have the ability to change your thoughts. Identify your thoughts. So we're going to run through a thought model. I'm going to share my screen. Share. Okay, let me see. Oh, that's not it. That is your pretty homework. Okay, let me see if I can make this big. Okay, April, I see your face. Can you see this? Okay, great. So let's run through a thought model because you're going to do some of this on your homework too. Okay, this is, if you've been around here for any amount of time, you've seen us run through a thought model. Okay, the circumstance is the need to develop business builders. Okay, and here is your negative thought. Who would want to follow me? I stink at duplication. When you have that thought, what are the feelings that come? You're defeated, you're stressed, you're insecure, and you have fear about reaching out. So what actions do you take? Well, you're not talking or posting about the opportunity. You're not taking actions regarding duplication. And the results, guess what? No duplication, no new business builders. You've reinforced your negative thoughts, creating a self-fulfilling prophecy. Okay, now, same circumstance. You have the desire and need to develop business builders. I'm mastering, but your thought, instead of who would want to follow me, I stink at duplication. Your thought is now, I am mastering the skill of duplication and people want to join me. I'm finding my people. Think about that for a second. I want each and every one of you to think about that. What if you owned that? What if that thought became part of who you were? When I have that thought, I am mastering the skill of duplication and people want to join me. I am finding my people. The feelings that come from that are expectancy. I'm excited. I want to learn. And the future is full of possibilities. So based on those feelings, what actions am I going to take? I'm going to be hyper-focused on learning duplication because I am mastering that skill, right? I'm talking about the opportunity. I'm sharing about the opportunity, and I'm helping new people share because I'm finding my people and people want what I have. And guess what? What are my results? I'm creating new silvers and business builders. I've changed my circumstance by changing my thoughts. Your new circumstance is that you are developing new business builders. Now, hear me. If I just fill out this sheet, is my life going to change? No, I wish. I'd be a double diamond by now if that were the case, but I'm not. I have more thought work to do because this is the beginning. I can't just work out once and expect to have my bikini body by leaders retreat. I need to have consistent action, eat well, and consistently work out and have proper nutrition and take my life-changing products, by the way. The same way you need to do this with your thought life. To own that statement, to meditate on it, to think about it, to create it. And you're going to be doing this week for yourself. You'll be getting that in your homework pack, taking yourself through a thought model because you have the ability to change. Listen, people, this is God's idea, not mine. Change your thoughts and you change your life. What you focus on expands. As a man thinks in his heart, so he is. And you will never, ever, ever outperform the quality of your thinking. So again, you have ownership. The choice is up to you. What do you choose? What will you choose? Now, to tie this all together, to put a big bow on the package, why the heck are you even here? Why are you doing this? Why would you choose to do hard things, get out of your comfort zone, grow, et cetera, et cetera? This is talking about your fuel, your why. You cannot skip this step because if you miss this, you are going to build on sand. Let me repeat this. If you skip this step, creating your rock solid why, you are building on a shaky foundation because your feelings will come and go. Maybe you're all excited after this call and you're like, yes, I'm fired up. And then we have team call and then you're fired up after team call. And then you talk to your teammates. And so you stay up really, really, really late on Monday. And then you get up early. And then tomorrow you're so tired. And then you think, I can't even send a message to anybody. I don't feel like it. And I'm so tired. Your feelings will come and go. But the reason for why you're doing this, if done properly, will fuel you beyond your feelings into consistent action and keep you moving forward each and every day until your dreams are realized. Your why is an essential, I would say, the most critical part of you moving forward because it's about the reason for your being, for why you are doing this. Living according to your feelings is shaky and it will yield very little. But your why will keep you moving forward regardless of your circumstances and propel you all the way to your destination. And for some of you, your whys can be different. Some people start out with a why to pay for their products, to make a car payment, to pay off debt, and it can evolve. But here's the deal. Sometimes we equate our why with a dollar amount or money or this or that. But what I'm going to challenge you to focus on is what that will do. What will the money do for you? What would your life really, really, really look like if, And we say this all the time, if your bank account was full and your calendar was empty, what opportunities, what is it going to mean for you and your family? What is it? And you're going to have to, in this work, I've got a why workbook for you to work through. And it's going to be challenging because it's going to go deep, 7 layers deep, to get to the heart of why you're doing what you're doing. Because that is essential to move you forward. In this business, we will have the highest of highs and sometimes the lowest of lows, and sometime in the same day. I've actually had that within like a 3-hour period of each other. Really, really high highs and really, really high lows. And feelings can be like this. But your why will keep you tethered to the course and be the fuel for your business to keep you moving forward all the way to your destination. I'm going to pull up this document quickly. Okay. Because the success of your business is directly connected to the strength of your why. And when your why is strong enough, the how-to always comes. You're going to be dealing with some questions like, how would an extra, you fill in the blank, per month change your life? What do you want from this business? How much time can you commit? What do you want to change for you and your family? What things are you done with? What circumstances in your life have caused you frustration? What difficult situation are you just done with? What have you been wanting to do but haven't because of a lack of time, money, community, strong health? And then thinking through, what would financial freedom do for your family? What does that look like? What does the life of your dreams look like? And that's going to require thought and intentionality and effort. But I can guarantee you, if you put in the time to honestly answer these questions, you are making an incredible deposit into your future and your family's future. And you will build on solid ground. Solid ground. Because you are investing in yourself. You are the owner of your own business. You have 100% ownership and ability and responsibility and everything at your fingertips. But you need the roadmap and the manifesto, and that comes with your why. So it's going to be a lot of thought work, but I promise you, if you put in the time and energy into creating your rock solid why, it will give you a fuel and a fire like nothing else. Like nothing else. So your homework, to recap, is going to be, you're going to be getting 3 documents, and it's a lot of mind work this week, okay? The first 3 documents, I'm not going to put them in any order. The first one is escaping your comfort zone. You're going to be looking at what you've been avoiding and what's going to take you, what is getting outside your comfort zone? What does that look like for you? Because chances are the very thing that's going to propel you to your next rank or your next breakthrough is on the other side of that fear. Okay, getting out of that comfort zone. Number 2 is taking yourself through a thought model. Okay, and you can do this with your upline, but being really, really honest with yourself and working that through, and then starting to digest that thought model. Okay, and then number 3 is working through this packet of finding and establishing your rock solid why, because this is not a linear journey, people. There's ups and downs. There's times where your points go backward. You can be, we don't like to say stuck, we say stable, but you need that why because there's a lot of hard in this business, but it's worth it. And when you think about achieving your why, and when you're there, you'll understand. So that is your homework. We're done a few minutes early. So you can go to the restroom, get a drink before Monday Night Live. I hope that this was beneficial to you guys. Get your homework in to your nearest Jewel by, did we say end of business Friday, April? By the end of Friday, so we have time to look over it and make any tweaks for on Monday. April will be doing the next class. And thanks, everybody. We can't wait to see you guys fly. Good night.